permanent ceasefire. That is what we're looking for. As we think about the world today, and we think about what has been happening in Russia and Ukraine for so long, what's going on between Israel and Hamas in Gaza, as we think about so many horrors of war that have happened, that are happening, and that are going to happen, the human heart longs for a permanent ceasefire. And yet Jesus tells us in Matthew 24 that as the time of his return draws near, we will hear more and more of wars and rumors of wars. I want you to know something. God always keeps his word. In the Bible, some 300 prophecies about Jesus Christ have already been fulfilled, giving us the confidence to know, that defies all mathematical odds, and it gives us the confidence to know that all the other prophecies about Jesus Christ will be fulfilled one day. A wonderful book of the Bible is the book of Isaiah. It gives us so many prophecies that not only applied to the day in which Isaiah lived, but to the coming future that we've not experienced yet. Isaiah prophesied in a time where Israel was being taken captive by the Assyrians, and Judah was soon to be taken captive by the Babylonians. And yet in the midst of all that, Isaiah could tell the people from the Lord that there was a day of deliverance coming, not only for that temporary captivity, but there was a deliverance coming for the whole universe. In Isaiah chapter 2, the Bible says that a time will come when people will beat their weapons into plowshares. Their swords will become instruments for farming, and their spears will be turned into pruning hooks. Isaiah chapter 2, verse 4. There's a day coming when there'll be no more weapons. No weapons, no manufacturing of weapons, but only peace. And that will happen when Jesus Christ physically returns to the earth. As a matter of fact, in Isaiah chapter 9, right around verses 5 through 7, which are verses that we commonly talk about at Christmas time, in Isaiah 9:5, God says, every boot of a tramping warrior and every garment that is rolled in blood because of war will be burned as fuel for the fire. No more boots, no more uniforms of war, no more blood shed. It will all be burned as fuel for the fire. And why? Because to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and one day the government, which is already on his shoulders, will be fully realized and seen to be on his shoulders. Jesus is going to come back and he is going to rule the nations. Ironically, he's going to rule the nations from Jerusalem in the Middle East. He will finally come back and sit on the throne of David, which rightfully belongs to him. And he is going to establish that throne with justice and with righteousness. And I want you to hear verse 7. Of the increase of his government and of peace, there will be no end. A permanent ceasefire. Jesus Christ, when he physically returns to earth, will bring permanent ceasefire. And not just that, but of the increase of his peace, there will be no end. Things will get better and better and better. For now, that can't happen. The war without continues to take place because of the war within every human soul, the war against our sin nature, the war against our selfishness, the war against our flesh, the war that Satan is waging to try to destroy us. But one day when Jesus returns and he separates all those who have trusted in him from all those who have rejected him, when Jesus returns, he is going to bring eternal, unending peace. Because those of us who know him will have bodies one day that are just like his glorified body, that cannot sin, that cannot go to war. Undying, joyful bodies, and hearts and minds that will forever experience his peace, exploring the glory of him and the universe that he has created, unhindered by pain, by war anymore.